This woman, in order to resurrect her husband, actually used cloning technology to impregnate herself, then gave birth to her husband, raised him as her son when he was young, used him as her husband when he grew up. Looking at the little life in her belly, Anna's heart was both joyful and expectant. She gently savored milk, hoping to provide enough nutrition for the fetus, so this little one would quickly come into this world. Before giving birth, she visited her husband's grave while carrying Jack. Anna silently shed tears. A slight smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. She grieved her husband's passing, while anticipating their reunion soon. Not long after, the moment of delivery arrived. White and chubby Jack was born. Anna brought him to a secluded harbor. Looking at this child with the same face as her lover, her heart filled with mixed emotions. She was both the child's mother, and treated him as an extension of her lover. No matter what, this time they would never be separated. Jack grew up little by little. Anna concealed the fact that he was a clone, telling Jack that his father died in a car accident. To others she claimed Jack was her son, but their relationship was not as pure as mother and son. Anna would crawl under the blanket and do some inappropriate things with Jack, even bathing together without hesitation. She indulged in this intimate contact, trying to find the shadow of her former lover in this cloned life, while Jack, under her years of influence, developed a blurred understanding of emotional boundaries. As Jack entered puberty, problems followed one after another. When he brought a female friend home for the night, Anna fixed her disheveled appearance, while suppressing her inner jealousy. The next day, Anna saw a girl holding a rabbit. She was quiet and shy, seeming to be a very likable girl, but Jack's attitude toward her was very strange. The girl seemed to notice something unusual. After politely greeting them, she hurriedly left. Anna warmly invited her to visit their home, but she only stayed briefly, and politely declined. After the girl went away, Jack turned to his friend and said something puzzling.
I couldn't smell it. What about you?
I could. What did you smell?
The copy smell.
What?
Copy smell. Copies have a weird smell.
It turned out children had a rumor that clones emit the smell of glass cleaner, and that little girl was a clone. To Anna's surprise, that very day a neighbor came to talk to her, just because she had invited the girl to their home, which was a major taboo in the small town. The neighbors strongly objected to their children contacting clones, because they felt it was unethical. If they discovered that Jack was also a clone, would they treat him as an outcast too? Anna's worries soon became reality. A doctor who knew Jack's identity came to town and told her secret to others, and this day happened to be Jack's birthday. Mother and son carefully decorated the room, eagerly anticipating the arrival of friends, but they waited from dusk until night, yet no one came. It turned out those parents, after learning Jack was a clone, strictly prohibited their children from associating with him. Anna brought out the cake, forcing a smile to celebrate Jack's birthday, but Jack couldn't be happy, thinking his friends avoided him because his mother had invited the clone girl. Anna couldn't tell him the real reason. She could only curse the neighbors for their stupidity, while crying sadly. This night made her understand they could no longer continue living in this small town, otherwise Jack would grow up amid discrimination and exclusion. So the next day Anna took Jack away from town. They went to the seaside where her husband had once lived, facing the ocean, as if at the edge of the world. Mother and son no longer faced societal judgment, but that night, while Anna was working, Jack suddenly asked her a heartbreaking question about the circumstances of his father's car accident. Little did he know, this was the most painful scar in Anna's heart, because for that accident, she bore inescapable responsibility. The next day, mother and son played on the swing outside. As they played, they impulsively started to wrestle. By now Jack's strength exceeded Anna's. He quickly pinned her to the ground, and Jack said something that could easily be misunderstood.
Now I could do whatever I want with you.
Go ahead.
Anna's cheeks flushed slightly. She looked at Jack's face, identical to her husband's, feeling an indescribable excitement stirring inside. Memories of the past flooded her mind like a tide. One morning many years later, Anna discovered an extra pair of feet in Jack's bed. Those delicate white shapes clearly belonged to a girl. Anna's heart skipped a beat. A sour jealousy spread through her heart. This young and beautiful girl was called Nini. She was Jack's new girlfriend. After greeting Anna, she nestled into Jack's arms. Anna's heart felt like it was being pierced, but Jack didn't notice Anna's thoughts, and told Anna that Nini would move in with them. This became the fuse that would explode their peaceful life. Not long after, Nini really did move in. Jack was with her all day, with endless topics to discuss, sweet enough to make others envious, while Anna in the corner was filled with conflict and struggle. On one hand, she tried to play the role of mother, respecting Jack's life. On the other hand, she could not suppress her longing for her lover. Watching Jack and his girlfriend's sweet affection, the jealousy in Anna's heart ravaged her rationality like a beast. Finally, she could no longer control her inner impulses, and sneaked into Jack's room room, Jack was sound asleep. Then she slipped under the covers. Jack in his dream thought it was his girlfriend returning, but as soon as he made contact, he felt something was wrong. Frightened, he quickly sat up. At that moment Nini returned. Jack realized the situation was awkward, so he quickly took Nini away, leaving only the lonely Anna behind. Gradually, Nini discovered this mother and son had no sense of boundaries. Jack was already in his 20s, yet still had intimate contact with his mother, kissing and hugging, and crawling under his mother's clothes to act cute without any restraint. Nini watched from the side, the smile on her face gradually disappearing. She turned away somewhat angrily. Late at night, Anna sat blankly in her room, secretly listening to the sounds from next door. Her heart was very sad. Since Nini came to this home, Anna had hardly spoken a word to her. Whenever Jack wasn't around, Anna always turned her back to Nini. Nini summoned courage to break the deadlock.
Aren't you going to say anything?
But Anna's response was only endless silence and cold stares. The next day, Jack spontaneously went swimming in the sea. When they returned home, they found an unexpected visitor at the door. It was his grandmother. The grandmother, seeing Jack's face identical to her son's, was stunned instantly, her eyes filled with tears. Gazing at Jack for a long time, Anna stood nervously nearby, fearing Jack would notice something amiss. Fortunately, the grandmother eventually just patted Anna and turned to leave. Jack watched her departing figure. His intuition told him that person must be connected to his origins. That night, the scene from the day kept replaying in Jack's mind. Troubled, he ran to his mother's bed, again asking her who that woman was, but Anna still wouldn't say. Jack, getting no response, grew increasingly frustrated. At the dinner table he threw various tantrums, angrily grabbing a handful of salt, scattering it all over the table. Then he locked himself in the bathroom, refusing to come out. Anna and Nini anxiously waited outside, coaxing him with kind words, but he wouldn't listen. Nini couldn't take it anymore. Disheartened, she chose to leave. Suddenly, only mother and son remained in the house. Jack once again begged Anna to tell him the truth. Anna's defenses completely collapsed. She finally couldn't hold back. She took out her husband's computer and handed it to Jack, nervously biting her fingers on the side. When Jack saw the face identical to his own in the photos, he was completely dumbfounded. He had always despised clones, never imagining that he himself was a product of cloning technology. His emotions instantly spiraled out of control. Excitedly grabbing Anna's neck, he threw her violently onto the bed, strongly doubting his own existence. Looking at the woman before him, he suddenly couldn't distinguish if she was his lover or his mother. Anna's feelings were equally conflicted to the extreme. She felt both the longing for a lover toward Jack and the maternal affection of raising him. Under extreme anger and confusion, Jack broke through the ethical bottom line and had relations with Anna. Afterwards, Jack had no idea how to face Anna, nor how to face his life going forward, so he chose to flee, leaving Anna alone in the seaside cottage. But Anna was not lonely, because not long after, she discovered she was pregnant with Jack's child. When love and ethics conflict, how should we choose? The development of cloning technology, is it bringing hope to humanity or opening Pandora's box?